Hey everyone, Caesar from Lightwerkz here. I'm going to be going over the Hilux Ballast and the other option, which is any ballast, of course. We used to consider the Denso Ballast really the best OEM ballast. A lot of people will consider the Hella ballasts as the best ones as well. The truth is, majority of OEM ballasts will completely outperform and outlast the aftermarket ballasts. But things have been changing here at Lightwerkz, and we'd like to let everybody know, our latest feelings and thoughts about aftermarket ballasts, such as the Hylux. This is the Hyluxtek CAN bus 35 watt ballast. It is the I think it's the 2A88 version. It's got a 3-year warranty. It's got a built-in error canceller, an additional ground on that blue wire, and amp connections. On the left-hand side, we have everything needed, well, essentially, missing a ballast and a resistor to complete an HID conversion. Let's say on a German vehicle, one that would require a capacitor and a resistor to fool the computer. So essentially what you see here on the right-hand side is the Hilux Ballast. It's going to be direct plug and play on, I want to say, 99% of applications. I think there's literally just a handful of cars that fit into the pool of vehicles that will not just allow you to plug it in. Even though it's got the built-in error canceller for CAN bus, new vehicles like the brand new Dodge Ram, I heard, is a little bit sketchy. 2015 plus, we have tested it, but we also have heard that people, after 20 minutes or so, the light will turn off and they'll have to turn it back on. So you might need the Mopar harness that Morimoto offers. Also a new Volvo here and there we had a problem with. Ultimately, the customer required this whole setup on the left-hand side. So the wiring harness is what draws power off the battery. They got 2 relays, 1 per each side, into the ballasts. We also have a capacitor link here. It's an additional, this capacitor accessory smooths out the power flow going into the relay to prevent any kind of buzzing or strobing. That's on a lot of newer vehicles that have the pulse width modulation system in place, where it doesn't really work with HIDs. You got the resistor right here on the left-hand side. That fools the computer into thinking everything is okay. Some of the newer models even require 2 resistors. And if you have a German car with a light out error, code that comes up on the dash, that will be required to prevent that from happening. And here we have the Denso the Denso D2S ballast. So we used to cut that plug off, convert it to amp, waterproof it. Next thing I want to talk about is waterproofing also, because the OEM ballasts, they don't come waterproofed. They're made to be mounted inside of headlights, inside of a sealed housing already. So to waterproof these, to convert them to amp, I mean, you're spending $250 on the ballasts alone. These Hyluxtek ballasts we have for a fraction of the price on the website. Pricing is always changing, so I'm not going to mention it here. Check on our website. We offer very competitive pricing. But the main difference is that this is slimmer, it's already waterproofed, and it's a very, very high quality unit. I used to install a lot of these setups on the BMWs, for example. It requires all this on the left-hand side, and it works. There's no error codes, there's no flickering. You have absolutely no problems, but the issue that we found was over the years, corrosion can build up on these contacts, on these resistors. Perhaps the ballast that was converted to amp may have an issue with some kind of arcing or misfiring. Perhaps a relay, one of the 2 relays went out. So, we'd noticed we'd have to go back to customer setups and address some things. Even though the ballast wasn't bad, maybe the relay went bad. With the Hilux system, even if you don't have a CAN bus vehicle, this is the main one that we supply because it works on pretty much everything. Plug and play, no harness needed, so there's less parts that can go wrong or can go bad. No capacitor, no resistors. It's going to fool your computer. Let's say you have a German car like a BMW or a Mercedes. It's going to fool your computer. You're not going to have an error code, and it's going to fire right up. The downside is that, it is aftermarket, but we have literally no failures with these. We've been using them for about 18 months, and Hyluxtek is not a new company. So at this time, it is, it's been really our most reliable unit yet, and even more reliable than some of the OEM ballasts that we offer. The OEM ones have been converted to the amp. They've been waterproofed. A lot of the OEM ballasts that we offer aren't even brand new. They're just refurbished, remanufactured. They're clean, they're tested, they're certified, but ultimately they're not new. So you don't really know the true lifespan of it. That Denso will probably last, from brand new date, it'll probably last a solid 10 years. The thing is, we don't really know the current usage on it. Even though it looks clean and it looks good, it might last a few years before it goes out. Unquestionably, it will be warming up much faster than the aftermarket unit. The Hilux, the downside is that it's really slow. It'll be like 10-15 seconds before it reaches full warm up, but you can really count on its performance. Performance-wise, they perform right about the same as the Morimotos, the Densos, any other 35-watt ballast, because it is pretty true to its wattage and to what it's supposed to be. A lot of cheaper ballasts, they don't last as long, and they don't perform as well as they're supposed to. So some may say they're 35 watt, but they're really like in the 20s. And we don't find that on the Hilux. We find it's very reliable, it performs very well, and it really is going to be probably the last ballast you purchase. So don't be fooled by the price. I want you guys to understand that this is a really high quality unit. It may look a little bit generic. You're going to see a lot of other companies reselling this same exact product because they put their label on it. Wherever, whatever the name is, you're going to see that same type of casing. But the Hilux is different. You're going to see a lot of companies trying to mimic this look. You can see the chip right through it. It says Hilux in that little window, and they do that for authenticity reasons. They want you to know that this is an authentic product. They all come serialized, so you can't really fool anybody that's offering these. This says 2017, so it is a brand new unit. These are awesome. So even if you don't require CAN bus, don't think you can't use it. This is the one that we offer because we find the reliability is second to none pretty much. Unless you're going to be comparing with an OEM grade ballast that's brand new from your dealership, which costs at least 3 or 4 times more per unit. There really is no comparison with anything else on the market. So this is why I recommend the Hylux. Check out our website. It's lightwerkz.net. We'll have the best pricing available on the internet on these. And if you find something cheaper, let me know. You can email us. I'll be happy to go over your options with you and tell you why our product, the Hyluxtek Ballast, is really the one that you want to go with on your next project. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.